Our guests in this segment include Courtney Funk, the Mountain State Apple Harvest Festival Vice President and Coronation Chair. Good morning, Courtney. Welcome back.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
And Abigail McBee, Queen Pomona 45.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you as well.
Tiara and sash.
Yes, all decked out this morning.
Very nice. That year went fast, didn't it?
It did. I can't believe it's almost time to pass it on to Syra, but it's exciting
It
too.
always goes fast, doesn't it?
Always.
Right. So we know with the tiara and the sash, they are treated differently.
They are.
Courtney, can you tell us the history and who gets what?
Yeah, so a little bit of the backstory behind the crown. Our queen does now get to keep her crown. It's a gift from the Mountain State Apple Harvest Festival. So each year it is a brand new crown. They are crowned with their brand new crown, and then it is their gift to keep at the end of the year as, really just a thank you for representing our festival so wonderfully. Historically, that's not been the case. We've actually had a crown that has been used queen after queen after queen, and then someone from the board purchased a smaller kind of token crown that they would give, like a replica, to them to keep as a gift. So that has definitely changed over the years. I personally really love the fact that they get to be crowned by a brand new crown that is theirs to keep. You'll notice, though, it is the same year after year, so it is the same beautiful crown to kind of keep with tradition. And then the sash actually gets passed from year to each queen. So.
Did you participate in the festival, Courtney?
I did. Yeah. So I was a maid a long time ago.
I'm not asking.
A long time ago, I was a maid at the festival. Yes, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I think it just, when you get to participate in something like that, it just becomes part of your soul. You love it. You love every minute of it. For her, I'll let her tell her story, but it's literally been a part of her soul, her entire life, and it just means something.
Yes, I've been involved with the Mountain State Apple Harvest Festival literally since I was a baby. My father was in charge of the parade for many, many years, so my first experience was riding through the parade when I was just an infant, and then I was able to be a court jester, which is still one of my favorite memories, because I just remember being so nervous to yell "the queen is coming," and me and the other jester, Evelyn, were just elbowing each other the whole time to see who would say it.
Who ended up saying it?
I think we both ended up getting frustrated with each other at the same time. We're like, I guess I gotta say it now. And then I later went on to serve as a junior maiden, and when I wasn't on the court, I was either helping my dad with the parade or I was carrying the banner. My mother helped with Baby Appleseed for several years, so when the Martinsburg Mall was still standing, I remember going in there and we had this big wooden board that people would donate money in, and going in to help her count that up and keep it organized. So it has been a full circle moment to serve as Queen Pomona, because this has always been a huge part of my life. Even when I was away at college in Alabama, I would try to come up for the festival on one of my weekends so I could help out or just feel the community of the festival.
Very nice. Mr. Miller.
So take us through what it means to be Queen Pomona. You get crowned at the beginning of the festival. There's obviously plenty of activities going on during the festival, but from then until now, just kind of walk us through what it's like.
So as soon as you're crowned, like you said, you have the festival and you hit the ground running with the festival. It is very time consuming, but it is one of the best experiences of your life. And from there, it's up to each Queen Pomona how they want to promote the festival, because you are the spokesperson for the Mountain State Apple Harvest Festival. So my big focus, I wanted to get into classrooms. I spoke to over 500 children within the last year, speaking about the importance of agriculture and my own personal platform, how to make an impact in your community, to be the voice. And so I just want to empower the youth and tell them that there's so many ways to be involved, and supporting agriculture and supporting the Mountain State Apple Harvest Festival is just one way they can do that.
When you had that opportunity to talk to the youth in our area, do you get the sense that they get it, if you will, that they want to be involved in agriculture? I mean, we see so many new housing developments in our area. We see so many orchards that are being plowed under. We are such an agrarian society here that is slowly kind of losing that. Do you get the sense that there's still a love for that out there?
I feel like there definitely is, and it's just trying to help them understand that there's ways that they can still promote it. I think it can be very defeating to think that you're one person and that you might not necessarily have that impact. And my whole reason for going in is to say, well, there are ways you can promote agriculture. There's ways that you can promote your own, what speaks to you, and that, yes, that one voice can make a difference, and there was ways that one person can contribute and speak to the importance of agriculture.
One of our sons actually works at Orr's, and he spent 1 year in the market, and then from there kind of got into the packing shed, and now does just about everything. And I can't tell you how special it's been for him and how much he enjoys the opportunity to be out, amongst the trees and doing whatever needs to be done around the orchard. It's been a real blessing, and so it's neat to see this festival year after year after year and what it promotes. So. Yeah.
Is there a way for a city kid or a suburban kid to get involved in the festival? It's very agriculturally related, but not everybody lives on a farm. So
yes, absolutely. I'm one of those people. I do not live on a farm. I am more of a suburban kid myself. So it doesn't matter if you live on the farm. It's about having that passion and knowing that there's ways that you can do it. I got to work with Community Markets, Inc. over the summer, and they are all about putting farm fresh food onto the plates of West Virginians, and they want to use that West Virginian food. And so that was a way I've recently been able to make an impact as being a suburban city kid. So I got to go out to these farms, and there's so many different volunteer organizations that do have an agriculture aspect, like Community Markets Inc. In the area that we're in with the Eastern Panhandle, it's perfect, honestly, because you can live in that city of Martinsburg, but drive 30 minutes down the road and you have that farm. There are so many different outlets. It's just trying to find them.
I remember so vividly, I think it was in high school, maybe college. I grew up in a house where everything came out of a can. Asparagus was like paste. I hated, all of that was terrible, and then it would be boiled. So it was just there. It was horrible. And I went out and visited a farm. It's probably a long story, but I was introduced. Katie McCallahan was her name. She was gorgeous, and we were walking through these rows of vegetables, and she picked a pea pod off of the plant, and she handed it to me and said, "Eat it." And I said, "You can do that? You can eat these raw?" And she said, "Well, yeah, you can eat any vegetable raw." I was shocked that you could eat raw vegetables.
No, I need to boil it.
And, exactly. And I was shocked at, wow, these really taste good. Why aren't we eating this? I think there's a real disconnect. Of course, that was a long time ago, but I think there's a disconnect. People don't understand if they're not into fresh vegetables, if they haven't been exposed to fresh vegetables, just or fresh meat, or fresh, just real. There's a disconnect between growing up in the city or the suburbia and growing up in the country. So, when you talk to kids, do you find that an interesting bridge in terms of how to introduce them to that or get them excited about foods that kids automatically turn their noses up to anything that's not sugar?
Yes, so it's always easier with the elementary school children because they're going to see the sparkly crown and they're like, I'll listen to anything she has to tell me. Once you start getting to older children, you get to middle and high school, then you have to have a bit more of like a sensible reason as to why you're coming in there other than I'm sparkly and I want to tell you about agriculture. So you have to, again, really appeal to the importance of what you're doing. And a lot of it you can see is sometimes just an access issue, like you said, that you're eating everything out of a can. And you have to let them know that there are outlets they can bridge that access. Like I was talking about Community Markets saying throw in the great programs that does bridge that access gap and let them know. And so it really is just letting them know there's resources, there's different ways you can be involved, there's different ways that you can have that involvement with agriculture, with farm fresh food. And that has always been my biggest thing is I want to tell you exactly where it is, exactly how to access it, exactly how to be involved, and exactly how to be involved in a way that appeals to them. So
what's next as the dowager? What do you continue with the message, or do you step back?
I'll always continue with the message. I absolutely love the Mountain State Apple Harvest Festival, and like I have been my whole life, I will continue to be involved in whatever capacity that I can, whether that'll be to keep helping with the parade or just stepping up where the festival does need that extra bit of help.
Is there an official role?
No, there's no official role. It's purely I love this organization and would love to stay involved in any capacity that I can.
As Queen Pomona, do you go to other festivals and actually travel the state to help promote what goes on here in the Eastern Panhandle and the apple production, the peach production, and so forth, as well as the festival itself?
Not quite yet, but that is something that I've worked on heavily this year. I have been in contact with Amy Minor Richards, assistant to Commissioner of Agriculture, and we have talked about a lot of different outlets that Queen Pomona can get involved in the future, potentially going down to the state fair, doing story times, talking about the importance of apples and orchardists. I know I have looked into going into different festivals, but you do have these specific festival queens, and sometimes that can be seen as like encroaching on their turf, and you don't necessarily want to do that every time. So that's up to their individual discretion and would have to be on a case-by-case basis, which is a little more difficult.
So, Courtney, how many are involved in the court? We're talking with the Queen, but she talked about being a jester very early on, and how many are involved?
Yeah, so it can vary from year to year. This year we have, let's see here, 8 minor court members. We have 2 jesters, 2 train bearers, and we have 4 of the, so we have 2 junior maidens, a scepter bearer and a crown bearer, and then we have 15 older court members. And then we can't forget that we also bring in 17 young men from Berkeley County Schools Junior ROTC program with the assistance of Chief Ron Glazier. He helps us with that, and we are really, really thankful for that partnership. But so it is a full court. We also have Miss West Virginia's teen that come in, and they spend the entire weekend with us as well. You see that charter bus traveling around through the weekend? No, it's me
full.
in tow with all of these awesome kids. So, yeah.
Rob, I know you're the mathematician. Did I get it right? 48? I was tallying up all the ones that she was talking about.
No, I wasn't doing the running total. I'm sorry.
I know
Yes.
you're good at that, so I figured you were. You know, but yeah. So
Yeah.
that is a huge
Yes.
amount. That
Yeah.
and are they involved in pretty much every event?
Everything. So we have an appearance at every single event. So we start on Thursday at the gala, and from Thursday we go into a Friday morning, the Queen Pomona's brunch, and our female court members are all there for that. After that, they have time to get their hair done if they'd like to do that, makeup, whatever the case may be. Then we head out to Airborne to start practicing about 3:15, and then the coronation with all of its pomp and circumstance is at 6 o'clock that evening at Airborne. Entire court is there. It's when you see the entire court together, really for the first time, cadets involved as well. From there, we head over to the ball and have a wonderful evening. Then the next morning, Mahogany Hill Farm, they sponsor a VIP breakfast for us. So the court all meets in the morning. We head over there. We get ready for the parade after that breakfast, and then we head downtown for the parade. After the parade, we head to the fairgrounds. We have the rodeo out there. And then, of course, Sunday is the final day of the festival where we're all out there for a pancake breakfast, which is great. It's kind of a relaxing morning after a busy few days. And then they have one final introduction. They participate in the agricultural activities, so apple peeling and apple eating, which is always fun. Scares me to death every year, the way that they eat these apples. If you've ever seen it, some of them will like take their forehead and just like slam down into these apples. And when you're responsible for all of these kids, you're kind of like, oh my gosh. But yeah, so it's really a great weekend. We're involved in every single event. And then, our Queen Pomona continues on for the rest of the year representing the festival.
Is the court an accession line? Do we know that there's Queen, and then how deep do we know? How many years in advance do we know who the Queen is going to be?
So we do our interviews in April. The board sits down and we do our interviews at that time. It's scored. So we have. Each category has an ability from 1 to 10, and then we take that tally. We throw out the highest and the lowest score for each young lady, and then all of the scores are tallied. The highest would be your queen, the second would be your maid, the third you have another maid, and then the rest in no specific order would be your princess.
So is this year's maid next year's queen?
So, no, well, technically the same year. So maid-elect, which is Syra George, she was announced in April at our announcement. She will become Queen Pomona this year in October.
Okay, but the next level maid is not necessarily the next year's queen.
No.
Okay.
No. Yes. Sorry.
right.
No. So they, of course, just like anything else, if something were to happen and our maid-elect cannot be maid-elect, then we have a maid that could step in, of course, to be the queen. But outside of, does she become the maid for next year? No. We actually have a 1-year waiting period in between, and then they can apply again to be on the court. And we've had young ladies do that. Michaela Dodson actually is one who was on the court. She was a princess, and then she took a year off, came back, and she was the queen.
Now, it's very old school Americana that we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Is the enthusiasm high for this? I mean, is there a lot of at the very bottom? I forget when you started, but there was the baby queen, whatever the baby blossom. All of that is very sweet and it's very exciting. It's very charming, and and like I said, it's very old school Americana. Is there still a lot of enthusiasm for that here?
Yes, I truly believe so. Abigail spent time this year going into our high schools and speaking to young ladies about being Queen Pomona and serving on our court, even if it's not as Queen Pomona, the capacity that you can serve and the difference that you can make. And I absolutely loved that. It was incredible. She took applications with her. We got a great amount of applications. We'll never share the full amount of applications that we receive, but we got a wonderful turnout, and everybody's always very excited, regardless of their standing on the court. The parents are really excited. Our announcement, I encourage people, if you can come to our announcement one year, please, we'd love to have you. The room is full of excitement, and that continues into over the months as we get ready. We try on gowns, and it's just very exciting.
I think it's wonderful. As an expat from Northern Virginia, the land of cynicism, this is so exciting for me to have this. I use the phrase again, the old school Americana is still alive, and you lose sight of that in some parts that aren't that far away.
Yeah.
So this is
Well,
there's three pretty cool festivals around here if you think about it, because usually the week before the Apple Harvest Festival is the Apple Butter Festival up in Berkeley Springs, and then in the spring you get the Apple Blossom Festival out of the Winchester area, and these, that's a pretty small little triangle of
and the county fairs
there.
are very are well
Yeah.
received and
But
attended.
all three of these revolve around the apple.
Yeah,
Right?
they do. Yes, sir.
And
Yeah.
I love apples.
Yes.
I bet I have
Same.
one every day.
Same.
Right?
Abigail,
Just
do you have to
fantastic.
reveal your favorite apple as part of the interview process or anything?
They do ask you your favorite apple.
Okay.
That could be one of the interview questions. Mine has always been the Pink Lady. That's always been my favorite apple, so that is what I did reveal in my interview.
Wow. I must reveal I didn't even know there was an apple called a Pink Lady. I had no clue.
Well, you have to say, what is yours?
Probably either red or golden delicious. Yeah.
Macintosh.
Cold. Like them cold.
Do you know the history of the Golden Delicious apple?
I do not.
Do you want to share?
All right.
Do you want to share the history of the Golden Delicious apple?
I'll let you share that one.
So one of the questions is what apple originated in the state of West Virginia? And so the answer to that is
The Golden Delicious.
the Golden Delicious apple.
All right.
So it originated in the state of West Virginia. And so another interview question we just put out there. We do prep the young ladies. They did get a letter from me that tells them, we are excited to have you come and interview with us. It would be of your benefit to have some knowledge of the apple industry. And that doesn't just, stop here. We have a commissioner of agriculture. What is his role? Know these things. It's important because, again, it's home. This means so much to so many people for so many different reasons, and one of which is that we really shine the spotlight on agriculture and the apple industry here in the Eastern Panhandle. And so knowing these things is very important.
Abigail, 2 minutes left. What has this year been like for you? Sum it up.
This year has been incredible. It really has been a full circle moment. If you would have asked me even last year before when I was competing in the interview process to be Queen Pomona, I did not think it was going to be me. So it has been surreal every step of the way. This is a dream that I didn't see that was going to be fulfilled until they called my name on the stage. If you go back and look at the video of it, I just sort of stand there and look around and be like, are you sure you meant me? Is this the right person? So it's been incredible to share my love for this festival with everybody in the community that I could possibly reach out to.
Well, that's great. So what is the next event that you attend officially?
Officially, Apple Harvest event, I will be at Rubies and Rhinestones. And then additionally, the week before, I will be riding through the Apple Butter Parade.
Okay. And then what is the handoff? The festival this year is the 16th through the 19th of October. You can go to MSAHF.com for the entire schedule of activities and events. When is the handing off ceremony with you and the next queen?
So my official last event as Queen Pomona will be the gala. And so that is last time you'll see me all decked out in the crown and the sash. And then Syra will officially become Queen Pomona at the Coronation.
Do you think you will tear up a little bit when it's time to hand it over?
It probably won't hit me in the moment. It'll be the day after, and I'll be like, oh my goodness, I'm not Queen Pomona anymore. And then I'll have to really think about it.
Well, very good. And as you think back to your last year, and I've only got about 45 seconds, what would be the most favorite part of the last year?
I love going into the classrooms. That has always been my favorite part, is whatever age being able to make an impact, whether it is those little ones and you see their eyes light up and then you're immediately their best friend in the whole wide world, or talking to those high schoolers and letting them know, like, this really is an amazing opportunity to make an impact. It's not a pageant. You're talking about something you're passionate about. You're talking about the agriculture industry. You're talking about orchardist, and there's so much more you can do with it.
Well, congratulations on a well-represented year. Good for you.
Thank you.
Right? Courtney, we'll see you again soon.
See you soon.
Thanks for
Yes,
coming
sir.
in
Thanks for
and the
having
work you
us.
do with these great young people. That makes a
Thank you.
difference.
Thank you.
Thank you.